Hi, everybody. Welcome to The New Normal. I'm your host, Lisa Davis, aka Litecoin Lisa, and we're streaming all kinds of places except not on Facebook today because we're inappropriate. Our content is inappropriate. However, apparently not the sexualized content that they put on Nickelodeon for children, that they show in children's hospitals nowadays, but my content's inappropriate for Facebook. So we'll be right back after this. Get a drink. You're going to need one for this thing. Happy hour. Cheers. Where'd he go? Westwood. Cheers.
I dropped my drink. I had to pick it up.
Caught you off guard.
Yes, caught me off guard. No,
That's
absolutely. Didn't spill a drop. No, didn't spill any of it because that would be alcohol abuse.
Okay.
I'm not into that. No alcohol abuse in this man cave.
Definitely not. It seems like we were just together. You were here in Oklahoma City last weekend. We had a great happy hour day on Litecoin Day at the gun club.
Yep.
Bitcoin Ben was here and was super generous. Gave away $1,000 in Bitcoin.
Yep.
For a raffle. We gave away some silver. One of my former pastors won that. That was really cool.
Pretty awesome.
And met some new friends and got some of the staff there at the gun club are really excited about learning more about cryptocurrency. And we had our VIP dinner and had some new people from my own town. Well, one guy's from Tulsa, the other guy's in Oklahoma City, and they're big miners actually. And when I talk about big miners, I actually I went to the bank later this week, and my president of my bank and my friend, she's actually on the Fed committee for creating the new CBDC. And we were talking about it, and I was telling her about the weekend and everything that went on. And I told her about these guys that came to the VIP dinner, and she was like, "Oh, I heard about them," and mentioned the name of their company. And she's like, "Yeah, I heard that their electric bill's like $600,000 a month or something for mining Bitcoin."
Wow.
So there's some big things happening in Oklahoma City, specifically.
Holy cow!
Pretty crazy.
That is pretty crazy. $600,000 utility bill.
And I'm thinking, man, and
you got to pay in rubles.
Dinner.
Yeah, right. Price is right.
Yeah, we were glad to have them join us at the VIP dinner. That's one of the things that we offer to patron members first, and then if there are any seats available at the VIP dinner, then we offer that to people that attend the happy hour. But it was a really cool event.
Well, and that's it. I was in Peoria today, wandering around, and I stopped in one of my local haunts that I like. Probably wouldn't be a good place for a VIP dinner, but I was kind of thinking, okay, what's a good spot to have a VIP dinner? The place that we went last time after the show was pretty good. I mean, that might work. Remember that place? That was a nice place. I mean, there's other places like that, but there's a place where there's a steakhouse where you can kind of make your own steak, pick out your cut, and stand around. You can talk and interact. Yeah, I mean that'd be fun too. So I'm just thinking of different places, So when we bring the happy hour tour to Peoria, Illinois, where that VIP dinner is going to be.
That's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah.
It will be a lot of fun, and I'll tell you right now, make no bones about it. It is that's a great thing, because here's the deal. You're looking at, what was it? What did we charge? $250 a head? That might go up. I don't know. $250. You get all your food included, drinks included. You get to hang out with Lisa, and you can drink with Westwood. It's a really good, and the thing is, it helps support the Happy Hour Roadshow. Helps us to get to the next town. So, I mean, hey, if you want to just buy a ticket and donate it, you can do that too. But no, I'd rather you show up. I'm sure Lisa would rather you show up too, so we can hang out afterwards And I mean, it's just a good way to kind of raise some money to help the show continue, and you get to hang out in a
Well,
more
the guys that
intimate setting.
attended, yeah, we had several people attend extra on top of, because we have like whoever's there that's VIP, that either like are business partners of mine or people that I'm working with or that we brought in for the show, then come to these things. And so there's a lot of networking opportunities that come from it, a lot of connections that are made, and you always get some little insider information as well, being at those kind of things.
So, there's so much information I can't process. I couldn't make a video this week because I was just inundated with information. I'm like, I don't know I can't say anything.
It was a lot from
I don't want to say anything because I might spill the beans on something I shouldn't.
Yeah, it was really exciting. It was a great weekend.
So I just shut up.
Good stuff. Lots of good stuff.
Mm-hmm. So seriously, when we come to town, look into that VIP dinner. I mean, it's really cool hanging out and not having to be, just having the time to sit down and be able to relax, and we can all just sit around and talk and have some drinks and have some good food, and it helps the show out. It really does. So look into that, and look into joining Lisa's Patreon, because that's how you're going to get the VIP ticket first. After that, I mean, it could fill up and then you don't even get one.
Yeah. Here you can
put me on the list. Make sure I'm on the list.
I'll make sure you're on the list.
All right.
You go to my website, litecoinlisa.net, and you can go right here and click join me on Patreon. And that's the best way to do that. And then you can also go to events.
Spill the beans.
Right here.
Says Polly.
And it says, let's hit the road. And we've got our list of events. Currently we have, let's see.
I don't even know where we're going. I can't even see that. And that's another story I'll talk about here in a little bit.
Oh gosh.
Remind me
of
glasses.
A week.
Remind me of glasses.
Yeah. It's happening, huh?
It's happening.
Yeah. So the next big thing is the Team Mighty celebration for Mighty Mia's birthday on Good Friday, which is
2 weeks from today.
4/15. Yeah. So we'll be doing a virtual celebration. And we're going to be announcing we've kind of pre-announced the Team Mighty champion, which is Bix and Amy Weir, the Road to Ruta. And I'll tell you a little more about that. And then we'll be announcing the Team Mighty Warrior for 2022 and tell you kind of how Team Mighty's changing and going to be celebrating more families and engaging more people and doing more for the community. So really excited about that. So you can click on that for more information. And if you'd like to become a sponsor for this year's celebration, you can reach out there. So that's all on litecoinlisa.net.
Check it out.
Oh, one more thing while I'm on litecoinlisa.net, we need to hit on Westwood and I are having our class. We're going to have to change the date on it because I'm now going to be in Miami.
That's true.
On the 9th.
Miami. I won't be in Miami. I did look at flights, and there are direct flights from here to Fort Lauderdale, but then I'd have to get to Miami, and the days don't necessarily line up, and I'm done traveling right now, so I can't make it. Okay,
so Westwood and I will be holding our first online interactive class. It'll be a small class. It's a Zoom class, so we'll be live, interactive, one-on-one with you guys. Not one-on-one. It'll be two of us on
2 on 20
on less than 20 of you. Yes. And then, but you can go on here and click to sign up for the class, but we will be moving the date to a different Saturday. Right now it says April 9th, but we'll have to change that.
We're going to be having, what's that thing?
That day.
What's the thing that y'all drink, when you get up after being hungover? Mojitos, or what is that stuff that you drink? What's that early in the morning? What's that stuff called? What's that stuff called? What's everybody drinking?
Tito's, so I don't get hungover.
They go to brunch, and they drink, what is it? What's the cocktail called? Mojitos, or what is it?
I thought Bloody Marys were for people that got hungover.
That's for the real alcoholics.
You're thinking a mimosa.
Mimosa, that's it. Mimosas. Isn't that like a Girl Scout cookie though? A mimosa. And they rename those coconut things.
Guys.
I don't know. So, yeah, we'll be drinking those, or I will anyway, because it'll be like 10 a.m. No, I won't. I'll be fine.
Yeah, so you can go right here on my front page, scroll down, and you'll see online interactive classes. Check that out.
Mimosa, yeah.
And you can click and book, get one of those spots before they fill up. Or if you know somebody who needs a beginner's class for cryptos.
Yeah, I mean, we run into so many people, and we ran into, if I run into them, they typically fall down. But at these meetups, what happens is there are so many people who come who are new to it. And they're like, well, I want to get into crypto. Just like Jack, we talked about Jack, getting his Litecoin and setting up a wallet. And that's the kind of stuff we can take the time to do. That's what these classes are for. So if somebody's wanting to get into crypto, wants to learn about crypto, wants to feel good about getting into crypto and knowing how to do it without getting scammed by joining a Discord or something that they don't know anything about, and you got all these people coming at them, no, go sign up for the class. And then that way, you can ask questions. It's very easy, calming.
Yeah.
Westwood will help you. Lisa will help you.
That's right.
Get your wallet set up, send you Litecoin.
Exactly. And we'll have some continuing ed resources that we can give you after the class to follow up. We won't just drop you on your head afterwards as well. So,
right. Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Sign up for UBI. Yeah.
No.
Get your universal basic income. Get your CBDCs. No, I'm just kidding. We'll learn about what not to get.
Yes. Keep yourself free, sovereign.
Exactly.
Keep your assets in your own possession.
That's right. You got to have your hand on your assets. If you don't, somebody else is going to grab them.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I know,
so
right?
You've made it back home to the barn.
Yes, I've made it back home to the barn. I'm relegated to the barn.
You're safe.
Yeah, I guess you could say I'm safe. I don't know. They got a whole bunch of liquor back here. I don't know how safe I can be. But got my hat here from Bix. Got my Road to Ruta hat. Signed.
Nice. Very nice.
Proof of signature. I've got the picture. So, it's a real life NFT. It's going to be here in the bar. Just adding to the collection. Got to love it. Good people in crypto. Good times. So, yeah, I made it home. It was about about 11 and a half hour drive by the time I got here. I stopped a few places and messed around. Big candy store.
Refuel the Digibug.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I ended up getting, it was like 37 miles to the gallon, I think is what I got. So, not too bad.
You stopped at that
big candy store. Yeah, they had all these signs.
Big ass candy store.
Big ass candy shop or something, and it's like stop there.
Literally called something.
And here's how I justified it. I'm like, oh man, all these signs. I'm like, I don't want to stop there. I don't need to stop there. And I'm thinking, oh, Camila might want something. So anyway, I get there and it's like next exit, and then it says, oh, fuel. And I'm like, I guess I could top it off, so I pull in there, I whip on into that candy shop, it's got the gas station there, and I drive around. I'm like, they don't have any freaking diesel. It's all gas. And I'm like, well, since I'm here, I guess I'll go into the candy shop. $50 in Litecoin later, I walk out with a white paper bag and, all kinds of garbage, peanut brittle and all kinds of stuff I don't need.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. So.
What was her favorite thing you got?
I don't know. I just got her a mixed bag of stuff. There really wasn't a favorite.
All kinds of.
I just had to end up starting to eat it all anyway.
Too funny.
Malted milk balls and peanut butter covered milk balls and peanut brittle and
all kinds of stuff.
Oh, chocolate covered coffee beans. You ever eat those?
No, that sounds awful.
They're actually pretty good. My wife hates coffee, but she loves those.
Really?
I have no idea why. I mean, she does not like coffee, doesn't like the smell of coffee, but freaking coffee beans with chocolate, she'll eat it.
Yeah, that just proves if you put chocolate on it.
That's it. Put a little chocolate on it. Yeah. Girls love it. Girls love chocolate. So anyway, yeah, I made it home. It was kind of marathon. I mean, both of us the last couple of weeks. Phoenix and then Oklahoma City, and so here I am.
I need a break.
I'm back, but you're not going to get a break because you're going to Miami next week.
I'm not getting a break. Yeah, I had a marathon session with SL and Susan Hudd earlier today. I love Susan Hudd. She's got like the most positive energy.
That's what I was going to say. Positive. Yep.
Oh, she's just such a little ball of sunshine.
I want to see some positive Litecoin movement. That's what I'm going to do.
She talked about it.
Well, I keep talking about it too, and it's not doing any good.
Well, we're not there yet.
I know we're not. We're close.
But she had some really exciting stuff to say. Those I only play on my Patreon.
Awesome.
That's another thing that's
got to go check that out.
A gift to my Patreon. That
Fallout shelter.
So
see that back there?
Yes, I do.
Fallout shelter sign. Ron Wisnowski. He is like a road.
Oh yeah, he brought you a bunch of signs.
He shows up to all these meetups. He's driving all over the place. And Tina, and I know, and Tina, I love her. I mean, I love him. So he brought some signs. He's like, would you like these? And I'm like, hell yeah, I'd like these. He's got this fallout shelter sign. It looks like it went through, nuclear blast. It's like dusted. And then he's got some other old sign he brought me, made out of glass. And I don't even know where it came from. I got to do some research on it. And he's got a couple other ones over here. So they made it back in the Digibug. I mean, Paulie P ain't got nothing on me when it comes to transport and stuff. I got this big campfire sign over here in the box. I mean,
that was from Nana.
Nana brought that. We got to get that shipped out. So Mitch is coming tomorrow. He's bringing a whole load of stuff down. So he's I'm going to give him that and say, here, ship it, boy.
Thank you. Hankowitz says, I love your Patreon, Lisa. Thank you, Hankowitz.
There you go.
I try to share a lot of information I think is interesting. And then I put extra interviews and stuff. That Jim Willie interview last month was amazing. I think had a lot of really great information that I couldn't share publicly.
Got to join the Patreon. And that's the thing. Lisa gives all kinds of information. There's constantly notifications coming up. Patreon. If I want to know what's going on, I'll just go to Lisa's Patreon and say, okay, there it is. But I mean, just to support her, you should join the freaking Patreon. Go sign up. Support her for what she does. All these shows, 5 days a week, going to all these meetups, going to these places. You can meet her in person. Most accessible person I've ever met. Very loving of people. Not shy like me. Sit in a corner drinking Jack Daniels.
Drag him out.
I know.
Force him to be not shy.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's my cosmic bus stop agreement, I guess.
Yeah.
Lisa's gonna drag me out in public when I want to be a hermit. She won't let me.
I will not let you be a hermit.
She won't let me do it.
Thanks, Warrior 32. Yeah. I have a lot of good friends in there. And what's really cool is they can message me. I can message them. They'll send me information that they find. Then I can share that with the community as well. It's like really great.
It's a win-win
vibe over there. Yeah.
It's a win-win. Especially when you can get all the Susan Hood and SL stuff. I mean, seriously. I mean, that's.
And there was a new coin on there today.
I want to have to go invest in it.
And SL's, and it's not over yet, but SL's, some of her community, she herself and some of her community have already made like some huge gains on. It's really interesting. Good stuff.
Litecoin is the right coin as a means of exchange. Yeah. We'll leave it at that. The one thing I've learned from this past weekend, I went to the Bitcoin Day thing, and let's just get this out there. This is just my opinion only.
Are we having the toxic maxi conversation?
Well, you threw that out there. You want to put that hashtag out there, do it. But I thought about it, and I get where they're coming from. I get where a lot of the people who are like heavily.
I understand that point.
I do. I can understand both sides of the fence. I mean, it's just I'm not going to be in the middle of it because you can get impaled in the wrong places. These fences are dangerous. So you got to pick a side, I guess, at some point. So the whole Bitcoin thing, to where everybody there, I should say, there's a certain segment of people who want to invest in Bitcoin, and that's it. And it gets pretty toxic. It really does. I mean, I was standing at the back of the room while Lisa and Amber, you're up on the panel, and the fact that someone said Litecoin, Lisa just said it. There's a guy in the back. He goes, bleh, like he's throwing up in his mouth, simulating his. I mean, and then Litecoin came up again, and he's like, bleh, and he goes, shitcoin, and it's comical in a way because it's like just so close-minded that it's only one coin. That's the only thing that can win. And then meanwhile, yesterday? I mean, it was 90 minutes plus before one Bitcoin block got processed. I mean, you're sitting there waiting. Here's what's going to happen again. As we ramp up, which we're on the cusp of it, I think, of another run-up, those blocks are going to fill up because there's only so much room. And when you're going to want to transfer Bitcoin, sell, move, whatever you're going to do with Bitcoin, it's going to fill up. And it's going to cost you $20 a transaction or more to try and move your Bitcoin. And if you try and get by with a $5 transaction, for the fee, it's not going to go. And you're going to be sitting there all weekend trying to move your coins, and you're not going to be able to do it. So, I mean, to just have one, and Lightning fixes that. Well, Lightning's nowhere near perfect. Lightning's the second layer. Lightning is not verified on the blockchain.
Well, that's what I had that kid run up to me afterwards, and he was that's
like using MasterCard.
He said he had a question. Yeah, he said he had a question during my speech when I spoke privately, not on the panel. And he didn't have a question. He just wanted to talk about lightning.
Right. But this is the answer.
And I was like, great. I think that's
one answer.
Wonderful that it's there. And you know that it was created by Litecoin, right?
Right. Charlie Lee was, pivotal. And, he said the first Litecoin transaction was Zach Mullers or Jack Mullers. I can't remember his first name, but anyway, Mullers. Okay. So anyway, they're the ones that did the first transaction.
And so he's like, well, other people were involved in it. I was like,
that's what a community's all about. So quit shutting them out.
So, and then, I mean, I don't know. I just don't, I understand like having your point of view. I think what they were saying is like every time you buy anything other than Bitcoin, then you're like
diminishing,
watering down,
pulling
Bitcoin.
The power away from Bitcoin, pulling the energy away from Bitcoin.
Right. But my point is that if you're saying that Bitcoin's the only answer, then you're saying that legacy systems are okay and that they work. Our judicial system does not work. Our financial system does not work. Our school system does not work. Our criminal system does not work. There are so many systems that are broken that there are so many more solutions still need to be found. And so if they can, if Bitcoin can fix it, great. But there still are other solutions that need to be found.
I'd be happy to see it happen.
Yeah. And my biggest thing was when they started personally attacking me and threatening me physically was that, it's one thing for you to say that you are about Bitcoin and that you, but if you believe in Bitcoin because you're trying to get away from this oppressive financial system, but then you want to oppress me and actually physically threaten me and threaten to do harm to me because I have a different idea than you, then you're no better than them. They,
you're a part of that.
So, but I ended up having a talk with the guy that was instigating all that. And he wouldn't show his face on the call at first. Well, he wouldn't show his face on the call at all. But then by the end of it, he did apologize, and I believe it was sincere. And I just told him, if you're going to say those things publicly, then I think you owe me a public apology. And he asked if he could make a statement talking about our group, because he had pulled up your profile and my profile and kind of made us targets in his group. And so then he made a statement that was not what he said on the phone call, but it was kind of a, don't shoot them or use knives on them, at least.
Bring it on. I don't care.
And so I commented on his comment and said, that's not exactly what you said in the phone call, but, thanks for the effort, and I'll see you in Oklahoma City, my friend. And then when we went there, like, he wouldn't even look me in the eye and kept leaving the room every time we'd walk in a room.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
I don't know if maybe he was trying to be respectful because he thought I felt threatened, maybe. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, because I felt like his apology was really sincere on the phone. So,
I mean,
he and Charlie did talk outside, and there was a guy with him, or that knew him, that came in my speech, and he had a question, and he was a Bitcoin only guy, but he was very respectful.
Yeah, and he's curious.
He was curious, and he gave his point without tearing down anyone else. And I thought I had a lot of respect for him too.
Yeah,
his name was Kyle.
Big dude.
He was really nice, and he and my husband talked for a long time, because my husband was curious too. He's like, so help me understand, help me unpack where you guys are coming from with this. And he explained like the watering down of Bitcoin, and I was like, okay, I can totally see that.
Yeah,
that you could see it would take away from it. So I think it's great when you can have two people that can have a respectful conversation. That's where you move the conversation forward, and that's when progress is made. So those are the kind of things I think that would be really a positive thing, if you could get people like that in the same room and having those kind of conversations together.
Right. Because when you're on Twitter, it's like driving down the road and giving somebody the finger. It's like you're not interacting. It's like you're just you're
No one's
projecting.
learning or growing from that.
You're just blah, blah, and out the window, and it's like, okay, but you're not engaging. You're just being a jerk off, and I mean, and that's, come on, you're not going to do something like that to somebody when they're standing right next to you.
But it also doesn't make it okay.
No, it doesn't make it okay because it's a real life event.
Crypto Twitter, and it's just, I'm just driving down the street. It
right.
It's
like flashing a gun in the car. It's like, but that's a real life consequence if the thing goes off, and then when you show up and you carrying knives and this and that, I get it. I get the whole thing. The thing is, you've got to distinguish between, this is my whole thing with cryptocurrency. And I think this is the end game of cryptocurrency. And I got a big problem with it. And that's why I discuss it. It's like, you've got this virtual world, but you still have to live in reality. Right. Do you want to live in, you think we're going full-fledged metaverse and you think that's going to cure everything? We're going to be in a keyboard and living in our homes and be able to communicate with people that way. That's what we're doing now. But the thing is, there's real life stuff here. It's, we've got to meet in real life. We've got to talk to each other in real life and engage each other in real life. Don't think that that's going to fix everything. Just like, oh, we'll go to Mars and colonize it and leave all our problems behind. Oh, we'll go to the metaverse and colonize, and everything will be fine. No, it won't. You're going to carry the same bullshit baggage with you, no matter what universe, metaverse, world you go to. So you better get that worked out right now. And don't think that you're living in this bubble that, nothing's going to affect me. No, you have to interact with people. And if you don't, you cease to be a human being. Do you want to be what they want you to be? Some singularity robot human? I don't want to be. We've got to realize that, some of this stuff isn't real. It's all artificial, and we are still human beings, and we still have to interact with each other. So when we lose that, then we are lost. So let's not get to that point. Let's make this stuff right now.
Definitely. Well, and I think you're seeing that with the news. I think people are waking up to that, and they're seeing where, they want to pitch us against. That was the other thing. I'm like, oh gosh, one more thing where they win. They always want us divided. And so I'm like, don't let them divide us with crypto too.
Right, exactly. Let's not do the same old crap that they've been doing, like you said. Let's not act the same way they do. No, we've got an opportunity. We've got this opportunity, this weapon, this money that's all they've done is control us with money. And now we've got an opportunity. Hey, guess what? Bitcoin's a $100 bill. Litecoin's a $10 bill. Digibyte's a $1 bill. It's like, you've got all these different forms of money. Why can't we use all of them? Why do we have to have just one?
Well, I will tell you, so after spending a little more time with them too, though, and even being up on the panel and kind of processing some of the language they use. So a lot of those guys were Bitcoin miners.
Right.
And so it is a different mindset.
It's a different mindset.
Because they're talking about hash rate, and that is competition. Computers are competing against each other. Who's faster? And so because they kept talking about this Oklahoma-Texas rivalry and that crap. They talk about that in football, but our family's not into that, And I'm like, I said, well, I was born in Arizona, I was raised in Houston and live in Oklahoma. So I don't know. I don't believe there's a competition. And they were like, what?
It does not compute.
And I came into cryptocurrency through Litecoin. So it was Litecoin fam.
Correct.
And I was welcomed. And it was, the whole mindset was, the more people we bring in, the more we are, the stronger we are together. And so it was this totally different mindset than a Bitcoin maxi has. Well, these Bitcoin maxis, like I said, a lot of them are miners. And so they have this hash rate competition mindset. And I think that may be where some of that comes from, where they're in that competition mindset. And so once I could kind of see that too, I'm like, okay, that's where they need, it would be helpful if they would let the computers compete and not have the humans compete.
I get that mindset. I mean, I've been there, and that's in the whole lifting thing. That's why I try not to be competitive, and I'll lift and then I'll stop, because I don't want to be that person who is, I have to be the winner and number one. And, because I am very competitive, and, I tamp that down because that's not a healthy thing. I mean, it is and it isn't, but, in the big scheme of things, no, it isn't. You want to lift everybody up. So Dogecoin last year, let's take that example. Dogecoin last year ran way up, and Shiba ran way up, and it got a lot of people into crypto. And some people, they bought at the top and like, oh crap, why did I do that? But the thing is, it brought a lot of people into cryptocurrency. It brought a lot of awareness to it. And then that's when you do your own research and you start looking at different things. But you never would have looked at those things. You never would have looked at, Bitcoin, Litecoin, those kind of things. That's what drew them in. And so now that they're in the game, they realize, oh, wait a minute. They start learning about sound money. They start learning, well, okay, wait a minute. Maybe I want to hold this because this is something, that's much more valuable. I mean, all news is good news, whether it's, you think it's good or bad. The fact is the awareness that it brings is a good thing, I think. And, it's up to all of us to make our own decisions. And the problem I have, and I use this example with Jim Flanagan, I said, there are some people that if Bitcoin went away and the only thing that was left was Dogecoin, ask them, would you use Dogecoin as a currency or would you just continue to use the US dollar? And some of them, and I know this, I've heard it firsthand, no, I would never use that. I'll just keep using the dollar. And it's like, but it's, you mean, you're going to let the criminals and the vampires continue to suck your energy away when you have at least some weapon to use? At least it's, a 22 that you can pick up and use. At least it's, a rock and a sling that you can pick up and use. It might not be the Gatling gun, but it's still something against that old system. And then to be blinded and think this is the only way. No, you can't think that way. There are many tools on the battlefild. You got to pick them up and use them, no matter what they are. And different people are going to use different tools. That's just, they're better at different things. So, I just want it all to be open and everybody makes their own decisions. And cryptocurrency is a good thing. And it's just, the more we get into that, the more we realize that, the less we have to deal with this garbage and this control system that we're in. And they'll just print more of it up and say, hey, we're going to give it to this country over there between Europe, and Asia. And this money laundering country. And we can't be doing this anymore.
Like they keep printing. Well, I can't say printing.
Creating.
Pushing the button, creating.
I know, printing.
Digital.
Because the cash is actually fairly valuable when you look at the amount that's out there because there's only so much cash. But it's just insane.
Yeah, it is just insane.
And they're just talking, they act like they're debating. Well, maybe we should give another billion. Oh, here's 500 million more. Here's this and that. Give it to the actor because he's doing a great job acting, running the country.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe he needs another yacht or something,
Could be. Well, he's got some huge place in, what is it, Florida? Some mansion, some estate in Florida, Zelensky, and it's the whole system's rigged. I mean, get out of the system. I don't care if it's Bitcoin, Doge, Litecoin. It doesn't matter. Just get out of it. Get out of that old system.
Well, that's what SL and I talked. I don't know if this was
Get your cigars, get your whiskey before they go up. Because they're going to be going up soon. Mark my words. Sure. I called the nickel thing.
So food, grain, if there's going to be food supplies, there's going to be
make these
grain.
Things?
Yeah, supplies.
Comes out of the earth.
Yeah. And so there will be alcohol
shortages.
Absolutely.
So get what you need while it's cheap. What was it in Arizona? It was like $25 for a handle of Tito's. Isn't that what it was?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Holy cow. It's like heaven.
Cheap.
It's like heaven on earth.
Because usually it's like $34 or $35.
Something ridiculous. Which gets me into pricing. You used to work at an eye doctor, right? You were a manager.
I did.
Okay. How much of a markup scam is that when you go to buy glasses there?
Typically, for the frames, they double plus a percentage.
Okay.
And I was an eyeglass rep for a while for Christian Dior and for Ralph Lauren.
All right.
Wow.
I know you don't like Costco. I get that.
Nope. I don't.
I know you don't. And I understand that. But I'm just some poor guy, so that sap trying to make it. So I go to the eye doctor today. My sister's an optometrist, so I'm going to out her. But
so why do you not go to her?
I did, and I got my eye exam there and all that stuff. And you're going to get it at cost. I'm like, all right, cool. I got the free eye exam. I'm like, yeah, I'll give you my business. And so I bought my daughter's contacts. I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's a good price. And I go to check out my glasses, and I go. And today I went. And I pick out a pair of glasses, and the frames, it says $300 on the frame. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And, the lenses and this and that. And so I'm supposed to get it at cost. So, we'll give you a 20% discount. I'm like, I ain't buying anything at 20% off. So you see what I drive. And it's, by the end of it, it ended up being with the discount, $530 for a pair of glasses. I'm like, are you kidding me? And I didn't even get like the computer blue, stuff for the computer screen and all that. That was $180 upcharge. I'm like, let's just let this one sit because I don't think that.
Your sister said that was her cost?
Not her. She wasn't there. She's the doctor. Okay. And so I went to the other, I said, hey, she said, that's supposed to be a discount and this and that. And that was the cost. That wasn't the cost. So I said, all right, just put it on hold. I'll check with this stuff later. I'm not going to pay that. So I went to Costco just for the hell of it. Looked, picked out a frame. I thought, no, I'm just going to get a price on it. Picked it out. Boom, 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 boom. The frame had the UV protection, whatever, the anti-glare, had the freaking blue stuff, for the computer screen. Out the door, $120 for a frame and glasses. And I'm like, there's a lot of fat in the system, and it's all insurance scam as far as I'm concerned. All these doctors, no matter what they are, it's a big insurance scam. That's really what it is. Because do you have insurance? Do you have insurance? Do you have insurance?
That's the
They're making a lot of money though. But the thing is, they're charging it to the insurance though, right?
They're not.
Well, how are they charging that much money for that when
they have contracts with the insurance company to get all the clients?
So why can't I get a cash discount?
And the insurance companies get all the money.
Why can't I go in there and get a cash discount at cost, or at least 10% up? Well, they wouldn't give it to me. So I'm like, all right, I'm out. I'm not going to pay
because you're not talking to the right person.
Exactly. And the thing is, my time's not worth it.
Yeah.
I know Costco made you wear a mask. I mean, they made me wear a mask when I went in. But the thing is, at the end of the day, it's because it was a state mandate and they're just following the rules, trying to run a business. So I go in there today and they've worked out all the deals to where I don't have to think about it. I can go in there and say, how much is it? And I get the best deal that I can get anywhere in town. So I'm like, hey, I'm $120. Order it.
But
I mean, see, they're doing it right. But they are, as far as a business perspective, they're
monopoly.
It is, but the thing is, what do you do?
And that's where the little guy gets screwed.
Everybody's getting screwed in the big picture, but on the day-to-day basis,
we can't support that because then
should I pay $500?
Business. No, but then you have to do the work. You have to say, "This is not right. I need to talk to your manager. I'm willing to pay cash." I mean,
They were out to lunch. They were out eating lunch, and they weren't there at the time. So there's a few people.
Back later.
Well, the thing is, I only got so much time, or I ain't going to be making happy hour.
Well,
so I made a choice.
Happy to push happy hour back for you.
You know what I mean, though. I mean, but that's the position we've been put in. Walmart's put us in that position. Costco's put us in that position.
We put ourselves in that position
because they've leveraged it all. They've leveraged it all.
It happens slowly. It's a frog in a pot, and we let it happen slowly. You lose your freedom for convenience.
Well, you save a lot of money, and so that extra money, I mean, you can do something with it right now. It is, and I make the choice. I'm going to take that extra $300 and I'll go buy some Litecoin, and I'm going to win in the long run.
Yeah, it's just really sad because this is how
sad. I get it.
This is how we give our country away a little bit at a time for a McDonald's cheeseburger because it's a little bit cheaper instead of going to mom and pop next door. You know what I mean? This is how we give our country away.
I mean, if they're going to double the price, I mean, how do you win?
You keep going to mom and pop, and you get everybody else to go to mom and pop, and you go in together with all your neighbors, and you say, "Hey, mom and pop, I'm going to tell all my neighbors about you. I'm going to tell all my friends." And
I'm telling them now,
mom and pop to be so successful that they can lower their prices. Run McDonald's out of business so that mom and pop can afford to lower their prices.
The thing is, though, in a capitalistic society, you're looking at, I mean, it's a double-edged sword because you're looking at the ones that do it efficiently and they get it done right. And you've got people who, hey, you know what? This is the best deal. And when you walk in there, you're going to get the best deal. So people are going to walk in there and they're going to walk out and be done. I mean, that's where you're at, though.
Yeah,
I know. I agree. I would rather give cash to the local business all day long. I really would. I absolutely would. But, I'm not going to get bent over and doing it, in the process either. And in the big picture, yeah, we're all getting bent over. I get it.
Right.
But it's just an example
of
where we're at.
Well, and I guess then you have to
society.
choose your battles,
right.
Because you can't, there's not I'm sure every choice that we make is not, the most righteous one.
But that's my day.
Too. And even I had the same situation with, I had to put on a mask on me and my child this week because we were at the children's hospital. Because
the bigger picture is, right?
Right.
What are you going to do?
If I don't put the mask on, that doesn't work. So I'm having people that I'm trusting for medical advice.
Because you have to.
Because I have to. And I told them, I was like, and I've known these people for years. These are the same people that are managing the cardiology clinic from when we first got Mia and got her heart transplant. And, I've got half the cardiology team dialed in my phone with their personal cell phone numbers. I know these people and I respect them. But they're bound by these policies that are not even theirs. It's the medical industrial complex.
Correct.
It's so the insurance companies. Because I'm like,
that's the problem.
You don't even believe this. And they're like, it's out of our hands. And if they see you, and they've got this guy, this compliance guy following them around, typing things. And they've got interns with them and they've got this person with them. And if somebody sees and you aren't wearing a mask and whatever, then I said, so where are we in the negotiation? If I don't put this face diaper on, what happens?
Right.
And they were like, you have to go find another doctor because we will not give you an EKG for him. We will not give you an echo and we will not refill his meds from this point on. And they're life-saving medication for him.
They've locked up all the technology. They've centralized it. They've controlled it. They've got the big entities, and that's where it's at. And the only thing I come back to, and why I said that, is because if I save $300, what am I going to do? I'm going to go buy 2.5 Litecoin. That's the only way I know to get out of this thing, is to pull the plug on that system slowly. I wish, you have no idea, 2011, 2001, I wish I could have pulled the plug on the system. I wish we could take the energy away from those vampires. And that's why I'm just like, every extra dollar I have, what did I do? Last 2 days, I'm going through my freaking jar of change because I know those pennies that I put in there that I thought, whatever, they're not the copper pennies. I sorted through them already. So I took the pennies out, put them in a jar by themselves because I'm like, all right, that's worth more than a penny. That's got some zinc. It's got some copper in it. And it's like, I am just going to continue to pull energy out of that system as much as I can and hold that because I know the whole thing's dead. The whole thing's gone. Mm-hmm. And it's just get what you can while you can.
When normie leaders like Robert Kiyosaki is putting out and being interviewed on mainstream media saying the US dollar is dead and no longer the world reserve currency. Like it's already happened. It's already happened, folks.
It's done. It's done. Guess what? There might be UFOs out there now. Oh, well, no shit. We've known that for how long? They've been in paintings since the medieval ages, and in Middle Ages. And it's just, they're just rolling it out now, just like the stealth bomber. Remember that? Oh, we don't have anything like that. And then somebody takes pictures of it. They're like, oh, yeah, we kind of do.
Well, we forgot to.
There's that black budget, where we created all this money and funded all these projects that, we created all these things. Yeah, it's already over. And that's the thing I guess I want to drill home is that you've got the opportunity to get out of that system now
see, he's getting passionate about it, you guys. I didn't see the arms flailing, but I did see the lean in. So he'll be right back. But it's happening right now. The minute that Putin
I know, right?
The minute that I know, right? The minute I just said you didn't flail your arms, but you did do the lean in. But the minute that Putin demanded that rubles be paid for the petro, and then also said his rubles will be gold backed, that is the reset. But I think it's in our favor for all of us that are prepared for this. So I think it's going to be a positive thing.
No, I think it is a positive thing. And these are the growing pains, these are the birthing pangs that we have to go through right now. And I get frustrated. And, trust me, I would much rather pay someone locally. I would much rather do that. But I'm like, you know what? If you're not changing, if you're going to play the same old game, if you're going to stumble around and act like you got nothing to do and can't help, I'm going to vote with my money. And I'm going to take the money that I save and I'm going to put it into something else because the whole thing's dead anyway. And it's just, you know what? I'll build a sanctuary here. I'll do what I have to do. I'll grow the things I need. And someday when you want a nice heirloom tomato, you're going to have to pay me in Litecoin. Just like Russia says, guess what? It's my natural gas. You're going to pay me in my currency. And that's just how it's going to be. I'm not going to play the game anymore. I'm done playing the game. You're a bunch of vampires. You done got slayed. And that's the way it comes down.
It will definitely be, the game. Whoever's got the ball, it'll be my court, my ball, my game.
And there's a lot of balls around here, I'm telling you. Just letting you know.
Well,
GWB, Grace. All right, we'll just leave it at that. Hashtag GWB. That's Litecoin Lisa. That's her new hashtag.
Oh, that was I got told that I had balls because I
Grace
stood
with
up
balls.
to that Maxi because I mommed him basically.
Yeah, you did.
I was very calm under pressure, but calm. And then
never put Litecoin Lisa in a corner. Never put her in a corner because that's a big mistake.
You know what? I'll be smiling and kind, but I will put you in your place.
Next thing you know, you're going to hit that exit hash, that button.
I'll mom you. Don't make me get the spoon on you.
I know, right? Don't get that spoon out. I got that spoon with me everywhere I go. That's what you need. You need a holster with a spoon in it. A wooden spoon.
A wooden spoon.
Yeah, that's what you need. And I'll carry some in the backpack. Here's another one.
For extras, just in case.
Crack that one here. Here you go. Stand back. Let Litecoin Lisa do her thing. I'm just here for the spoons.
Oh, gosh.
In the words of J-Mac, I'm just here for the spoons.
I don't know what that's about.
All right.
I don't know about the J-Mac part.
The Jersey thing. I don't know if J-Mac's in the chat. He'll be like shaking his head, smacking his face. Probably not. Yeah.
Jersey. I don't remember that.
That's a whole. See, if you would join Lisa's Patreon so you can have the VIP after dinner hour, and then you can find out about these things.
Oh. I was there.
Yeah. Are we going to Jersey in May?
Yes.
Okay.
Unless we move things around. Unless we
could shuffle it around. Maybe we go to Dayton in May.
I need to.
Jersey.
Well, no, I really think we need to go to. Oh, wait. I was thinking that we should go to Consensus in.
I know. I saw that in June, and then
June
Westwood.
And that way we could see Satoshi Shawn, and then maybe move Westwoods to July and do 4th of July at Westwoods.
Well, it's up to the people.
Then we could still do Jersey in May.
Yeah, we can still do Jersey in May.
I don't know.
Is that the time to go to Jersey? I don't know. I don't know when the best time to. There's never a good time to go to Jersey.
It's always a good time to go to Jersey.
Only if Johnny's there.
We have tons of friends there.
Johnny and Miss Teen Crypto,
Miss Teen Crypto,
and Beer Chicken Wings,
God, Beer Chicken Wings,
Randy,
Randy.
I mean, just
tons of people in Jersey.
Come to a happy hour event, please, so we can talk about these things and we can meet each other, because that's what's going to carry us through all this stuff. Like you said, Lisa, I believe it. Bet on Main Street. I mean, that's really what we need to do. I mean, because it's really a transition.
Maybe that's the rebuilding. Yeah,
it is.
Maybe
that's the other side
of rebuilding.
That's why I want to do what I do here, because I know on the other side of this catastrophe that we have that should have collapsed back in 2008 and it didn't because they papered it over. I mean, the end game is, he who has the crypto and the assets wins. And that's really what it is. And I mean, you can talk mining and how this is going to do this and this, and you know what? The more people who buy cryptocurrency and take it off the market and hold it in their own possession and actually use it peer to peer, that's the key going forward. It really is, because nobody can control that asset. I mean, it's just like having gold and silver in your pocket. It's just
not
much easier
paper
to use.
Silver in the market.
No,
having the real silver in your pocket. Yeah,
just like I always have here. The silver coin in your pocket and that copper coin in your pocket.
That reminds me, those articles that I sent you, I thought it was incredible that those banks moved their minimum wage up to
Barclays Bank.
$20.50
or something. It was over $20,
which is about what those 5 quarters are.
Exactly what we talk about. Minimum wage in 1964 was $1.25. $1.25 in 1964 was 5 quarters. 5 quarters in 1964 had 90% silver. That 90% silver, if you go look it up, is worth over $20 an hour right now, about what Barclays is paying, because people aren't going to work for nothing. And so I mean, if you had held those 5 quarters in 1964 for that minimum wage, I asked Jack that. Remember Jack, the 14-year-old?
That may be setting us back to that silver standard. The fact that because in this article it says that the minimum wage had not been raised since I don't know when, it was $7. The minimum wage had to come up to $20 to be back equal to that silver.
The purchasing power in 1964
amount, yes.
To equal that. And see, that's
to bring
what I mean.
us back to the
sound
64.
Money. Hold sound money. Take your payment in sound money. Cliff, in his video, when he's talking about just the other day, he's talking about, hey, you know what? I'm going to sue this government. I'm going to sue the state of Washington because I couldn't access the beach, and I'm going to put in a price of $1,000 a day on it because I couldn't go down there for my health, my psychology, my dogs. They couldn't go down to the beach because it was closed because of this pandemic that they had. And he said, you know what? I'm seeking damages of $1,000 a day. That's what I think it's worth. But I want to be paid in a real dollar, constitutional dollar, which is silver. So I need 1,000 silver coins. You want to play this rigged game? I ain't playing the rigged game. I want to be paid in real money. And real money is indeed that. It's silver. And digital silver is Litecoin. Absolutely. There's no doubting that. And mark my words. If
you sound like a parent, mark my words.
Mark my freaking words. Come back and watch this video if this channel doesn't get banned. And you can watch this video. If it does, watch it on Odyssey. And you'll be able to see this video. But you've got to preserve your wealth. Put your energy, your labor, get paid in something of value. And if they're not going to pay you in something of value because your employer won't do that, take the money out, get a $125 Litecoin, put that in every week, every month, whatever you can afford, and hold it. Because that's going to preserve your wealth going forward in this new digital age. It just is, because there's only so much to go around. It's a finite asset, just like, silver's not finite, but it's a limited asset. Those 5 silver
and it's
quarters,
a consumable product. So that is the other thing, is that because it's consumable, unlike gold, there will be less of it in the future.
Absolutely. I think right now there's 70 million Litecoin that have been mined out. Bitcoin, 19 million have been mined out. Yeah. Only 2 million Bitcoin left to be mined out in the next 100 years. And these governments are racing to mine it out. They know the value of that going forward. So right now, instead of mining it, just accumulate it. Just get it. Because everybody's going to be in a feeding frenzy to get it. There's going to be this rush, this supply crunch, and you're going to see it. They're going to get locked up. You're not going to be able to get it. Get it while it's cheap. Have it in your own possession. And get to the other side. That's really what it comes down to, because you are looking at the world's biggest shit show coming. And we're watching it unfold.
Articles that I shared with my patrons.
And I know I've been dropping a few things, 4-letter words I usually don't say, and I try to keep this family oriented, but it is a shit show.
There's also, we've talked about this. The dollar, what they did with the truckers and how that's really causing people to run for. The other thing is, in Cliff High's data, he talked about the dollar failing 3 times, them trying to create a dollar and it failing 3 times. And
it's failed multiple times already.
Third time they come to Reggie. Well, they did this e-cash. And then this week, the senators were trying to pass a bill to do a digital currency or create a stable coin. And then, like I said, I talked to my friend that's on the Fed's committee to create the CBDC stable coin for the Fed. Those are the 3 times. So we're there.
Yeah, we're in it. We're in the mix with Bix. In the mix with Bix.
Yeah. And it's all happening. Like, if you guys haven't watched Uncle Cliff's Dojo Woo.
Yeah, go to BitChute, BitChute.com. Search for Cliff_High. Watch his videos. Get educated on this stuff, because this guy's laying it all out. I mean, this is
right now we're having the disclosure. So Hunter's laptop came out. the FBI said they lost it, and Matt Gaetz found.
You got your buddy Matt Gaetz saying, "Hey, guess what? I got it all right here on this. I want to
Yep.
enter it into the record."
And enter it into the record.
You see that idiot? What's the head Nadler? He's, and the guy was in the mask.
And they're like, we can't say no objection. We can't say no objection. And Maxine Waters starts screaming in the background.
Yeah, and then you got Sheila Jackson Lee over here with her big ring with the little pedo ring on, and all that stuff. I mean, it's just these people, and you're getting close to that Dick Allgaier moment where he saw Congress being powerless. We're getting so close to that. You see it happening to where these people have no power. It's the Western cardboard cutout scene that we're all watching, and we know, Clint Eastwood's out there, and he's got these cardboard cutouts, walks into the saloon. Oh, cut to the next scene, and then you got Alec Baldwin shooting somebody. I mean, these Western scenes, and it's just, it's all such a fraud. It's all just a big gimmick. I mean, what the real power is. You see it at the local level. You can grow your own food, get some heirloom seeds. I mean, I'm getting to that point where there is a sense of urgency. And that's why I'm so kind of just ticked off right now, because it's springtime. We've got the ability to take care of ourselves, to grow our own food, plant those gardens, Nana, those victory gardens. I mean, we got to start doing these things and breaking free from the system, not letting them control us. They're going to control us with food. You got Bill Gates buying up all this land. It's not going to get used. And if it gets used, it's going to be for the wrong purposes. It's just, you've got the abilities to survive now and get things that you still need. Get them while you can, whatever it takes. Use those fiat dollars, burn them up, get real assets, get them in your own possession. Litecoin is just one of those things. I mean, there's so many different things. If you smoke cigars, get those cigars while you can. If you like whiskey, get that whiskey while you can. Get those things while they're still on the cheap and get them in your possession.
And we did see the FEC fining Clinton's campaign for the Steele dossier, and also the DNC, which it was a minimal fine, but it's just the beginning.
But it shows that they were
acknowledging
wrong.
it.
Exactly. Yes. It acknowledged the crime. And that's the thing. It acknowledged the crime that occurred. And I mean, you're run by a bunch of criminals. I mean, look at them. I mean, you got Biden up there on the stage. I don't even know why I'm here, why I'm getting this. It's just.
Hankowitz says, if the so-called environmentalists gave a crap about renewable resources, hemp would have been legalized decades ago. And actually, a long time ago, hemp was legalized.
It was a big commodity.
It was a big commodity. It was used for a lot of things. And today they were, of course,
now
the
they subsidize. They subsidize genetically modified corn. And then, exactly. You got the House that passed it, and then the Senate. Oh well, we're not going to. We're not going to legalize that at the federal level. We're going to let all the states handle that stuff.
They're wanting to decriminalize it, not legalize it. It's a little bit different.
Yeah, it is. You're right. But, and you got DeSantis down there, shouting out Disney and all those things.
Yeah.
Look into it.
We've been talking about that stuff for a long time.
I read a book. It was I don't even know what it is. I gave it away to somebody, so I don't know. I read it and gave it away. Hopefully she learned from it. But, all the stuff that was going on, this is the early 2000s, and how that was set up down there in Florida. They bought up all the land and created their own little sovereign government, kind of like the Vatican. Down there in Florida, they got their own police force.
That was one of the other articles I posted, I think.
And DeSantis is unwinding all that.
There's all these special privileges that Florida gets. They literally have, it's one of those things you have to subscribe to actually read the article on the one that I picked.
You need to go to Lisa's Patreon so that you can see all this stuff. Seriously. She's doing all the work.
So I'll find another article. I picked the wrong one for the show. Sorry, guys. I thought I had the right one.
I'm all over the place. I got you all distracted and
that's okay.
Bouncing around like a pinball machine.
But he's definitely calling out for these special privileges in Florida. And the same thing happens in California with these national parks that, Pelosi's doing with, they're trying to grab actually the nation's resources and they're putting them under the guise of national park that nobody can buy. And then they let people like Disney go in and purchase the land and exploit it and do different things.
But there are only oligarchs in Russia, not here in the U.S. Right?
Yeah.
Here they call them capitalists, so they call them. What do they call them? Like Fortune 500 companies, But in Russia they're oligarchs. It just sounds more nefarious, I guess.
I guess. I don't know.
It's the same thing. There's vampires everywhere. I'm going to boil it down for you. Don't give energy to the vampires.
The irony that you call it vampires. So Cannon and I, are doing his Faces of History thing and about Genghis Khan. Did I already tell you all this? About the whole Anda blood brother thing?
Yeah. Okay. That's what it is, though. I mean, it's just they want your energy. They want to steal it because they don't do anything. I mean, think about this. These politicians, and you got what's his name? The freaking poof hair guy. Mark Meadows, or what's his name, doesn't want any of this information to come out. Who's the guy right now that's talking about all the parties in DC and all these nasty?
Oh, Madison Cawthorn.
Yes, go look him up. I mean, and what he's bringing out. I mean, this stuff is. Roger Stone just talked about that. Think what you want of him, and he used to be engaged in that stuff. And he came out the other day and he's like, "Yeah, this stuff goes on. I used to be a part of it. I'm born again though. I've given all that stuff up, but I'm telling you how it is. It's a cesspool. DC, Hollywood, all this stuff. These people are criminals. They're vampires. They just want to use your energy in different ways, wrong ways. Don't let them do that. I mean, just
definitely
break free from that system as much as you can.
Getting all mad about it.
I am a little mad, this week. A lot of time to think.
Well, and the other thing that I saw when I was at the hospital, so Cannon's laying there getting his echo and he's getting frustrated. He gets a lot of anxiety when we're at the hospital just from all the trauma that he's suffered.
I get anxiety going by it.
Yeah.
Just driving by.
So
where's the med bed?
Yeah. His way he's really sweet and really well-behaved kid, but his way to kind of push back is to be non-compliant. So he takes his mask off and he's laying there. And they're doing his echo, and it's taking a little too long, and his anxiety's going up. And he's watching SpongeBob, which I cannot stand SpongeBob.
I do like SpongeBob.
I can't stand listening to it. It just makes me want to claw my ears out, But and this rainbow unicorn child jumps on, and they're like, LBWPQTIA, so many vowels, so many letters, so many consonants, letters, vowels. And I'm like, what are they doing? This is a cartoon. And they're talking about children's sexuality. And thank goodness Governor DeSantis did pass that thing where they're not allowed to talk about sexuality to kindergarten through third graders.
Right.
I even think it should be till at least fifth grade. And actually, it's no one's business to talk about that at school. Those are things to talk about at home. That's not.
But the schools have become babysitters. I mean, because they've got us slaving away. The mom's got to go back to work because, Ward Cleaver can't make all the money anymore. So June's got to go back to work. She can't, stay home, make sure the kids are okay. And it's just,
but now
they've done it to the inner cities by buying them off.
This is even worse. This is insane. This school lets children identify as animals.
Furries.
Yeah.
I'm a furry.
They don't have to be people anymore. They don't have to be a boy or a girl. They can be animals.
Go watch Mark Dice. He had an awesome video where he went to and this is what needs to happen at the local level. This is how we fix it. I mean, you go and you be sarcastic. Go look at Mark Dice. I mean, what he did.
I love Mark Dice.
He had his hair colored green and he goes in and says, I retweeted it. It's like one of the few things I retweeted on my feed this week. Yeah, because pull that up because it's worth it. I mean, because it's just illustrating the absurd by being absurd. And everybody's like cringing. And it's like, yeah, that's what they want to do, though. I follow Clint Westwood. He might have some good information to share. Litecoin, accepted here. Keep going. There.
Okay, hold on.
Play that. Because that's a good.
I have to undo my. All right, let me see.
We've introduced, as you know, a growing list of over 57 different gender identities.
Okay, Mark Dice.
Mark Dice. Thank you. I'm Professor Mark Dice. I teach gender studies at California State University, and my colleagues and I across the country have been making tremendous progress in shattering the gender binary. We've introduced, as you know, a growing list of over 57 different gender identities. Many people don't know which gender they want to be. It's an extremely creative process. The reason I'm here is obviously the college students, young adults, their minds still fairly malleable. But we've seen the Don't Say Gay bill being passed in Florida. And if we're going to truly succeed in the New World Order, we're going to have to reach the younger children. And maybe on a local level, we could start with introducing ordinances to ban even identifying anyone as a gender at all. And if we can stop referring to the children as just boys, girls, he's or she's, until they're old enough to decide, perhaps then we can complete let's just be honest here, the Marxist revolution. We can get to the point where a lot of us can shed the label of a Democrat and just openly admit that we are Marxists. Repealing the First Amendment on a national level may be a little bit difficult, but we've seen surveys conducted on the Oceanside Pier that there are a lot of people that are willing to accept that. So we're just recommending the Bilderberg Group, think tank, some of our associates, World Economic Forum, are recommending that on local levels we prevent the gendering of children at all. As you know, children will believe virtually anything at a young age. They believe that a man in a red suit flies around and brings presents to them every Christmas. And if we can convince them that there is no such thing as gender, that boys can be girls, girls can be boys, that men can get pregnant, that women can have external genitals, penises, then I think that we'll be able to really succeed in what it is that we're trying to do here.
Oh my gosh, I love Mark Dice. He's hilarious.
But anybody
One
can
of
do
the
that.
best. I can't hear you, Westwood. One of the best. I still can't hear you, Westwood.
Hello?
Oh, maybe it's just me.
Man, you probably got me muted.
Can
Probably
you
a
guys
good
hear
thing.
Westwood?
Probably a good thing not to hear Westwood at this moment.
It's probably just me. Let me check my audio.
Can you hear me? Hello? Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2.
It's just me.
It's. Can you hear me now?
Oh, dang it.
And I'm gone.
I'll come back.
And Westwood is still.
Just keep talking because I can't hear
Westwood
what you're
still.
saying.
Can anybody hear Westwood right now? We can hear you, Manny says. Thank you, Jenny, Manny, Denise. It's a that you almost have to do that to where you get in their face, and you can go speak at a public forum, you can go speak at a school board, get up there, speak at a town council, and you can go in there and say whatever you want to say because it's free speech. You can get up there and you can paint your hair green, and like the other guy, like a week or two ago, he went to, he's crying, he's got the I Love Biden shirt on. He's like, this is just horrible. This is just horrible. But the thing is, that gets the truth out there. How many truth bombs did he drop? He's like, World Economic Forum, Bilderberg Group. He's dropping all those things in there, and people are kind of cringy. They're like, oh my gosh, this guy really believes that? Yeah, that's what they believe. All these people that act like they're your friends and they can lead you. Oh yeah, we're going to take care of you. We're going to do this and we're going to do that. And then they cackle at you, like our VP, whatever she is or it is. When it goes to, I shouldn't even use pronouns. When it goes to Poland and, and just laughs her way through a speech and everybody's looking at her like, what the frick is wrong with you? Ask Willie Brown what's wrong with her. Nothing's wrong with her. I just forgot to send her a new pair of knee pads or something. And, that's her problem. But you can do these things, show up and get the truth out that way. And it'll go viral. It'll get out there on social media and more people hear it and they realize what the real plan is. He's laying it out what the real plan is and who's behind it. I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, this is not our country, and meanwhile we got an open border. We got all our money getting funneled over to something that God knows what's going on over there. Hopefully,
our oil reserves being.
Oh, we're going to open up the.
Now we're using our oil reserves instead of to keep his
instead of
getting good
instead of going
ratings.
like this and opening the pipeline
and putting people to work.
Exactly.
having jobs in America.
Real jobs where you do real things, boots on the ground. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to engineer it. And I mean, that's what it is. And they all laugh about it. They all say, oh, well, it's a good thing. It's this, I don't even drop the labels, the communistic, socialistic, they convince all the young children in colleges, that this is a good thing. It's everybody can, deserves to be equal. It's just none of them believe in this crap. They put all these labels on it. It's about not me against you. It's us against them. And the Politburo, in the former Soviet Union, you had this Politburo of all these, rich people that sat around at the cocktail parties and laughed at us and smoked their cigars and drank their fine whiskey. Meanwhile, everybody's starving. And it's not about bringing anybody up. It's about knocking everybody down like bowling pins. And that's all they want to do. And then if you buy into it, if you give your energy and say, oh, yeah, I'll do that. Okay, yeah, that sounds like a great thing. I'll get my universal basic income. I'll get my CBDCs. That's what's coming. That's the new flavor. You're going to get your handouts. But, I mean, it's not going to buy anything. You're going to get the check. Anybody on Social Security knows that it does not keep pace with inflation. Go to the store and try and buy something off the shelf and see what it costs this year compared to last year. Your money isn't worth anything. I mean, the money that they give you isn't worth anything. So get out of it. Take control of the money. Get some silver because that held value. We just proved that with the 5 quarters in 1964. And we're at the same place right now. You've got digital currency that's going to hold assets, and it's going to be private, especially with Litecoin. You're going to have MWeb. You're going to have these things to where you can hold it in your own possession. You're going to be able to send it anywhere you want. Nobody can stop you from doing that. Take the opportunity now while you have it, because at some point you may not have it, and don't be left behind. It's just, it's frustrating.
Well, that's what we're doing when we get out on the road. And
I know,
we're trying to
and
help people.
That's what's going in my mind. It's like, meeting people face to face. We can preach all day long. I can preach all day long. Lisa, she's not preaching. She's trying to hold the line here, so we can keep the channel while I'm like dancing, on the edge here. But it's so important to realize that the truth, it's inside you, it because you are better than they are. You're not evil. You're a good person. We all are. And we're sick and tired of seeing bad people steer the ship. And they're just going to steer it right into the iceberg. And let's, I don't even go down to the Titanic rabbit hole and the people who are on it, that's how the Federal Reserve came about. I mean, the whole thing, it's nothing but a rigged game. And it's time to, just wake up and realize that.
But more and more people are. I mean,
and they are. And that's
another friend of mine from another homeschool mom reached out to me, and she was talking to me about wanting to learn about crypto. And she was like, I'm not sure if my husband will be interested. And I said, sharing information and, and then I gave her some more articles, and I was like, even if you guys, if you're not into crypto, then buy some silver. And she was asking me, she's like, do you guys have land or somewhere to go if the stuff goes down? So I know they're already having conversations about things like that. They know that something's coming. And so, because there are so many good people, and I think that's where, I know that's your heart, is for the community and the people to not get hurt in this. I will say
most people are good.
Yes. Most
people that we see on TV aren't good. So quit watching those idiots.
Yeah. But I think that where I have a little bit of peace in this is that it's kind of sad, but it's going to be the truth. There's an opportunity for generational wealth here. And that's what I think everybody that's in our chat and the people that are watching this understand the opportunity. And like Susan said today, she's like, everyone watching this video, this on the Susan and SL video that's on my Patreon. She's like, you're going to be, I can't remember what word she used.
The nouveau riche.
Maximally or extremely wealthy by the end of the year. And she said, because the universe, God, is using crypto as a tool, because these people that are drawn to these cryptos that are going to do well this year specifically are people that want to do good things with those cryptos, that have dreams. Like Amy Fulmer and I have a project that we're dreaming up and working on. And I know other people. I know what you're doing. I know what Divvy Daddy's doing.
Yep.
I know people that want to help other people and do good things with their cryptos. I know what Nana's doing. I know, what my husband and I have plans doing. I know what we're doing with Team Mighty and doing with cryptos. I know what my friend Amber's doing with her cryptos. And so there are these people that have these benevolent dreams with their cryptos to help others. And she was like, that they want these things to happen. And so,
so you manifest it, you keep doing it. And that's why I keep doing what I'm doing. That's why you keep doing what you're doing. That's why Divvy Daddy keeps doing what he's doing. That's why he shows up, when they want to charge him, how much to fly there and, put the mask on and do all this crap. But he gets there because he knows that will have an impact.
He's very strategic about his flying. He's pretty good at it.
He is. He's got it figured out.
Yeah, he's got it figured out.
He does.
But in all that, I guess I got distracted. So there are those opportunities, but then there is the normie that I think has a good heart.
They just don't know.
But isn't awake and doesn't know, but doesn't have the information or the opportunity for the information to reach them. Maybe it's the person who really is just the single mom who's working 2 jobs and just trying to make it and keep her head above water. And she literally just goes month to month and can barely pay the bills, or she's under, going credit card to credit card. She's not going to be hurt by the transition because she doesn't have any assets to lose.
Well, that's
what I mean?
That's it. The people who are going to benefit from this are going to be the people who have nothing, because they're not going to know.
Yeah. So I think they'll be okay. They're going to miss out on the opportunity to have generational wealth, but they'll be okay. And they'll be better off because we're in a pure, clean, honest, true system once we get through the transition. But the people that are awake and seeing what's going on, you're the ones that had the opportunity for generational wealth. And that's, Susan had an amazing message for all of you guys. So
I got to watch that.
Yeah, it was really.
Internally, I know that already, and I know that, and I get fired up and I get upset. And the only reason I get upset is because I love humanity and I want humanity to rise. And because I'm sick and tired of vampires stealing all the energy from humanity. And if there is an out, if there is a way out, I'm going to yell it out. I'm going to scream from the freaking wilderness and, and try and just do something. Do something. It can be so small. Buy one Litecoin, hold it. Just do what you can do. Get some heirloom seeds. Get, what you're going to need, get a little bit of extra, get those things in your possession and hold them, because how it is after a hurricane in Florida. Anybody living in Florida, you go to there's no generators, there's no food, there's nothing, everybody takes it off the shelf. Don't be in that position. Don't be in that position when it really hits the fan, that you've got no ability to make a decision, because, you might have $1 million sitting on the sidelines, but you can't do anything with it because nothing's for sale. Because, nobody's going to sell it to you. You're not going to be able to get it.
Like when we were buying chicken 100 pounds at a time and having the guy, cut it up and package it for me in 2-pound things. Well, like I said, when we first were doing it, it was organic, boneless, skinless chicken breasts were $2.99 a pound. They're now $6.99 a pound.
But there's 8% inflation.
Yeah. But I just 3x'd my money on my chicken. So.
Absolutely. You've got the ability to do it. Do it now.
Think of it that way too. Yeah.
Yeah. Get what you can while you can, because, it's better to have it, not need it, than need it, not have it.
Yeah.
Well, that's really what it comes down to. It really is.
All the links to clintwestwood.net are in the description, and litecoinlisa.net are in the description, as well as a link to my Patreon, and also a link to Crypto Confidential. On my website, there is a video that talks about some of the resources on Crypto Confidential that you can check out. And we have the twice a month AMA, where you can have
AMA stands for Ask Me
Anything. And so there are experts there. There's attorneys and financial advisors that are live there at Crypto Confidential that you can ask different things. You also get a monthly newsletter, and they have a portfolio of coins that Litecoin Leader has chosen. Then they're teaching you how and why he chose those, and how then you can learn those strategies to choose what coins work for you, or you can follow along with that profile or portfolio. It's just a great community, and my husband and I are part of that community, and you can join my community by using my link in the description. So you guys check that out as well.
Absolutely. Check out any of those links, because, we're all at a different point in our path. I mean, some people, it's like, imagine if you've got your retirement locked up in the system, and you're thinking, man, I don't know if I trust this system. How do I get out of it? That's a good resource, Crypto Confidential, to where it's like, okay, I need to kind of migrate some things so that, I'm not going to get hurt by this whole transition. I mean, that's a perfect way to do it. There's other people who it's like you're just scraping by, and there's no way to, it's like, I can't afford anything. And it's like, get some crypto in your possession, go out and get some Litecoin, go to an ATM, you can put cash in, you can walk away with crypto. You want to learn how to download a wallet. You want to learn how to get that money in your possession. That's why we have a class. And go to Lisa's, it's a clearinghouse for all these different ways to get out of the system, to, empower yourself, be your own bank. I mean, and that's really what it comes down to. Everything's decentralizing. And, if you don't go to the local level, if you don't take control of these things, they're going to control it for you. They're going to tell you how to live. They're going to give you the Coles Cash, aka CBDC, central bank digital currency. They are going to put you on that system because it's the path of least resistance. They're going to take you down that road, and you're going to think, oh, okay, yeah, I guess that works. And you know what? Don't do that. Take control of it. Get out of that before they put all those system structures in place. They're going to fail. But the thing is, there's going to be a lot of hardship along the way, and you're going to protect yourself by getting out of that system while you can, and getting the possession of the assets in your possession. And all of those tools that Lisa talks about on her Patreon, all on her website, litecoinlisa.net, all of those things are going to help you do that, no matter where you're at in the path, in the progress of this. And it's just so important. And I'll preach and I'll preach and I'll preach and I'll preach. Get that silver coin in your pocket, and I carry it around to remind me. It's like, I know it's sound money. I look back at that Litecoin ticker and I'm like, $125 Litecoin. Oh my God. Absolutely a ridiculous way to hold that weapon that you're going to need at some point. Lock it up, do it.
All right,
trust
guys.
yourself. Don't listen to any of these other fools.
And that TV. Susan said that too. She was like, listen to yourself. Listen to your intuition.
Exactly.
And she gave a message specifically about April. That was very, very poignant. So it was really great. Yeah, you have to go watch it, Westwood. It's so good.
I know. I need to go watch it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go watch it, and then I'm going to jump on some spaces later. So, if you're on Twitter. Okay. I'm going to have a spaces.
I'll
Lisa.
Join you.
All right. We're going to hop in, and I'm going to really rant.
It has to be late, though, because you guys don't turn it off.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I'll jump in late. You start whenever you want.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay. All right. See you later on Twitter Spaces.
All right.
Bye, guys. Have a great weekend. Love all of you. Thank you for joining us on Happy Hour. Take care and have a great weekend. Hey, Westwood, what are you drinking?
She got me. What you drinking, Westwood? Actually, I'll tell you what I'm drinking. I started out with that. Divvy Daddy brought me a bottle of that, single barrel Jack Daniels. Is 128 proof. Woo! Your brother liked it. Yeah. Liked it a little too much, I think. But, we all do. But, I'm drinking a little whiskey.
Drinking a little whiskey.
Simple pleasures. Whiskey and cigars and Litecoin Lisa. Doesn't get any better than that.
All right. Well, you guys have a great weekend. Take care.